All right, we are finished. So I will turn it off, slide it off the heat, and every 2 minutes or so we come back and stir it because it will form a skin over the top and it'll look like pudding if you've ever seen a skin on a pudding.
Barbecue pudding, delicious. If you're new to our cooking channel, we have two forms of content. We have shorts of this recipe, and this is the long content where you get to see behind the scenes and we have a good time and laugh and hang out in the kitchen, and it's more of a slow burn. So enjoy and hang out with us. Here's all the ingredients you're going to need, and we'll be sure to link all that below in the description. You're going to take all this and basically put it in all at the same time, so there's no specific order it has to go in.
So today I'm making a batch of barbecue sauce, but instead of one batch, I'm making a quadruple batch. It's easier. It keeps for like a month in the fridge. If you put it in a jar, much easier.
And we eat this stuff on everything, so
we've discovered it. You can use it on rice.
So good
with green onions.
Yeah, you
and
can.
It's so,
I
and
forgot about
we did
the
rice and beans. We did.
Yeah, you can use the beans and rice, which was good. We also used it for just on burgers, like barbecue burgers. We did. We actually, it kind of has also like a.
Has like a Hawaiian flavor.
Hawaiian, yeah. You put pineapple rice and whatever. I think we did tofu with it, and it was awesome.
Yep. Okay, so this is my trick to get all the ketchup out of the bottle. And also because the recipe calls for a 1/4 cup for each thing, so that means we need 1 cup because I'm making quadruple. But the pineapple juice actually comes out to a little more than that, but you also need 1 cup of water. So what I do is instead of adding the 1 cup of water, I add all the pineapple juice in, and then just add the water. And I think it's like 1.5, about 1.5. So I only add a 1/2 cup, and it just makes it a little more pineapple-y tasting. And then you've got your 2 cups. And you pour it into the ketchup bottle. Because I hate waste. It drives me crazy.
So your phone went off, and now everybody watching is like, my phone just went off. Yeah.
And it turns it all into the water, and then you just put it into the pan. And there is your water and pineapple juice and the rest of your ketchup.
Nice. Have you already started heating the pan?
No.
So this is just cold.
It's just cold. I add everything in together and then I start so I can stir it.
So you add all this together at the same time before you start the heat?
Yes, because with the sugar, the high content of sugar in there, it will burn on the bottom.
We're using cane sugar.
Yes.
Do you think there's a difference between cane and ghetto sugar?
There is. So the last batch I made lasted about almost 3 times longer than the batch before that, and I used refined white sugar for the first one and cane sugar for this last one. I think it didn't trigger us to eat as much.
So I agree. I think, the more processed things are, especially cane, sorry, not cane sugar, but white processed sugar and, which everybody knows is terrible, but and seed oils and things like that, I think this is a theory, I think they've genetically modified these things to make them way more addicting than they used to be when we were kids.
Either that or the chemicals they use
or
in
they
the
add
process.
chemicals or something, because
I don't know, but
if you're trying to lose weight,
it triggers you to eat tons more.
It made us eat a lot more of the sauce.
So we've switched over from cane sugar, and I also don't have a candy craving anymore.
It really makes a difference, I think. It's amazing. It took us about 2 weeks to detox the cravings out. But it really makes a difference if we're going to use sugar to use cane sugar or something like that. And,
yeah, I quit using brown sugar because that's refined white sugar. I just make my own now with the cane sugar.
Just molasses.
Yep, mix molasses in, and I just add a little bit extra and wing it.
So it's tough trying to buy organic stuff everywhere because, it gets really expensive. But a lot of these places are good enough as long as they're not putting high fructose corn syrup and they're using, you check the labels. But
and honestly, I've never seen organic molasses. I think it's all the same.
Well, maybe probably at the store, but it's probably like $25. It would make this insanely
Well, no, I mean,
expensive.
I think you can order it. I've never seen it in a store. So
really?
I don't know if we don't have it in our stores here.
Also, we live in Myrtle Beach, so we don't have bougie.
Publix is the fanciest we have. And they just have the
and
same
real
molasses.
fancy is Southern too. So They got premium hot dogs. They got the ballpark. So yeah, that's it. What we're trying to say is, if we were super rich and had money flowing, we'd buy organic everything and do it. But the expense would be stupid.
But to make this cost effective in any way, we do the best we can.
Yeah.
Now there's still sugar in the ketchup because I cannot find ketchup that's made with cane sugar. But I am getting ready to switch that off and make my own ketchup type.
So maybe we'll make our own. That's what we're finding is we're having to devolve everything into the basics and cook our own stuff. But it really makes a difference if you're trying to lose weight. It kills the cravings.
Any
of that stuff
I think it's
really
just
just makes you overeat. It's crazy.
Well, not just that. It makes me unhappy. Like, it messes my brain up.
It does make you grouchy.
It does.
And I stay away. Mm-hmm. Even the dog stays away.
That's right. She knows.
Where is she? See? Even she stays away. She's all the way over here. You're not grouchy now because you're eating right. She's actually happy. All right. Get back to business.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Adding the sugar. And it is 3/4 of a cup per batch. So 3 cups total for this.
Because we're making a quadruple batch.
And it is a lot.
It seems like a ton, right?
It is, but I mean, this is like...
But we're making enough barbecue for a month and a half.
Yeah, this is like a half gallon of barbecue sauce.
Probably more than that.
It's right around there.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Seems like more, but I guess it goes down so much.
But I mean, that's this jar. Like, that's a lot.
Oh yeah, for our foreign friends, that's a gallon, half gallon. So as far as... It does seem like it has a lot of sugar, but remember using this as a sauce, and you're going to just use a little bit at a time. And you're doing some molasses now.
So there's molasses in the recipe already. It's a 1/4 cup for each batch. So that's 1 cup of this, and then we'll do extra.
You put more in?
Yeah, I put like an extra 1/4 cup because it calls for brown sugar, but we're making our own.
Boy, this stuff's running as slow as molasses.
Yep.
I get the joke now. I don't even think kids know that joke anymore because that was like on Bugs Bunny and cartoons.
Well, I don't think they really use molasses anymore.
I remember way back when we were kids, my grandpa used to eat his pancakes with molasses sometimes.
Yep. My grandma put it in her cereal. Not cold cereal, but hot cereal. She would use this like a teaspoon of molasses in it instead of honey or maple or anything.
I don't even know what real... Let's see, what does this taste like by itself?
I like it.
Oh! No, it's strong. Mm-hmm. Not... Oh, God. Yeah, it tastes like somebody burnt sugar, and yeah. That's not good by itself for most people. You're a weird bird.
I grew up with it.
People put this on a pancake. They must have put sugar with it or something.
Nope.
All right, I will try it on a pancake just to see if there's something I'm missing, because it is...
It's not good.
It tastes a little burnt and tart.
Like, I don't mind the taste of molasses, but I don't want it on any of my food.
I love it mixed into stuff, but...
It is a good cooking agent. It is not a standalone.
No. Right, I've got friends like that. We call them molasses friends.
They're not good standalones.
Not by themselves, but in a group, they're great.
I'm going to have to go find more molasses.
Yeah. All right, we'll come back.
Okay, so I found more molasses. So here's the cup.
By the way, for our friends who are into preparing and storing food, molasses is getting hard to find, right? Tell us about that. When the shortages were going on.
So it got expensive too.
It doubled in price, more than doubled.
So we found it, like, Food Lion carried it, and it was like $1.79 a bottle, which was like by far the best price, and because they had their own store brand. Walmart doesn't carry their store brand anymore, and haven't in years, like here anyway. So I don't know, other people might be able to find it. But as far as I can tell, taste-wise and ingredient-wise, all molasses pretty much the same.
It's such a specialty thing. It seems like there would only be one company cutting it up and selling it to everybody.
So then
just labeling it different.
This is the brown sugar part, the add-on. So it's about a 1/4 cup.
So you're using this instead of brown sugar?
Yes, to go with the cane sugar to make it brown sugar.
Did you add more cane sugar and then this to make brown sugar is basically how you're doing it?
So no, it's just cane sugar instead of brown sugar.
Got ya.
So cane sugar and then molasses. And I think it's like a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons. I don't know what it is. I use a 1/4 cup because that's the
Tell
flavor
the folks, because some people might not know this watching, how brown sugar's made.
Brown sugar is literally just white sugar mixed with molasses. That's why it's kind of what it says, a cup of packed brown sugar. That's why you can pack it, because it's kind of damp from the molasses.
I got you. So we're just using the cane sugar and more molasses to avoid using the ghetto brown sugar.
But I like the rich flavor that molasses brings, so I use a little more than.
Yeah.
I like the dark. We would buy the dark brown sugar.
I love the dark brown sugar, and
which also no longer can be found.
I actually, that's right. I have not seen dark brown in a long time. They have light brown, and again, it's like the real poor quality, crappy kind that probably.
Well, I can find those little
straight.
boxes of Domino, and that's like $2.50. You know, for like a 1 pound thing of it. The 2 pound bag you can get at stores sometimes. It's just very sporadic. Brown sugar was one of those things, and we've decided to focus putting our money into cane sugar and molasses, and just going from there because it's kind of a catch-all. Simplified ingredients.
I also want to point out that we have not turned on the heat yet because we don't want to burn everything.
Yeah, that's sugar and molasses will burn
a
quick.
big mistake. You're gonna ruin a lot of brown sugar. So you put the liquids in first, basically.
Yeah, just because that's how my mind works.
Yeah, it's like, I guess, all your years of baking.
I just keep tracking. I always separate my liquids and my dry.
I gotcha. This is just a reminder that we are 4 timesing everything in this recipe.
So normally it's 1 tablespoon, so we're doing 4. And this is soy sauce. You can use soy sauce or coconut aminos or tamari.
Yeah, and if you're gluten-free, you roll with, those options. Because, some people are so highly sensitive, their guts are so messed up that even soy sauce sets them off.
They need kombucha.
Yeah, kombucha really helped heal our guts. There was a time last year I couldn't eat onions without farting to death, and now
0 problems.
0 problems. I can eat beans, onions, everything.
This is liquid smoke. It is one of, yes, it's chemically and kind of rubs me the wrong way, but there's no replacing. If you want the smoky flavor, it's really the only option we have. And that one is half a tablespoon, so it would be 2 tablespoons.
Look at that math coming out. Your teacher said, you'll never use that math, but we do.
It's true, we do. So, the original recipe that we used had powdered mustard, like dried, ground mustard.
Which turned out good if that's all you have.
It is.
You can use it.
That's wrong.
Do you remember how much powdered it was?
It was a teaspoon, I believe.
All right.
Let's see. 2.5 teaspoons of ground mustard.
So 2.5 per serving.
So it would be 2.5 tablespoons of prepared Dijon. Is your best substitute. You can use yellow mustard if you want. Dijon is the closest flavor-wise and just goes well with what we do.
2.5 for 1 batch.
Yes.
So we're going to multiply this by 4. You need
9, 10. And I know I have a conversion chart somewhere in here that tells me about what that would be.
Yeah, we do.
8 tablespoons would be half a cup.
Yeah. So it would be half cup plus 2.
Plus 2. Okay, so.
Hey, there you go. Look who's helping us. She had to get her collar on the day that buzzed her. So I don't know if you've ever seen these. It doesn't shock the dog. It just vibrates when they bark too much. Somebody's barky.
Yeah,
aggressive.
this one doesn't bark. This one doesn't buzz on its own. You have to be there to do it.
Yeah.
But she's had it long enough that she knows what it does. So there's a beep and a buzz. So when I put it on her, I beep it, and then she's pretty much just trying to be good when it's on.
Yeah, look how good she is on film. It's like, oh, I'm the perfect dog. But watch what happens when somebody knocks at the door.
Ugh.
Yeah, if you're ever going to try to break in our house, good luck. And Zoe introduced this character who ambushed our house.
This is Mochi.
She's very talky. And Mochi is named Mochi. Why?
Because she likes strawberry mochi.
She eats the heck out of mochis.
The ice cream part and the dough.
Mm-hmm.
She
Loves them
loves it
both.
all.
So, weird cat.
And cornbread.
So what are we doing now?
We're doing the dry spices now. So garlic powder, onion powder, regular paprika, smoked paprika, salt and pepper. And we need, garlic powder and onion powder is 1.5 teaspoons each. So 4, 6.
So just a note on spices. You know, for a while, spices were getting hard to get, and now, again, they've doubled and tripled in price. What we found a loophole was to buy the really large ones on Amazon, where some of you guys have restaurant depots and stuff. But go ahead and just buy 5 pounds of these things.
We thought we were doing really good with the Dollar Tree back before they were the $1.25 tree.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was way cheaper just to get the 5-pound thing of it.
Way cheaper. When we broke it down, we were just really taking advantage of buying these little things. And you are too, especially if you're buying them in like a premium store. You're at Publix or something like that. You're paying up the nose for these things. It really, really is shocking when you're like, when you buy it by the 5 pounds. For $30 you can have more garlic than you can make yourself. And as one of these things is, you know, with our homestead, for you guys that have never seen our channel, we have an off-grid homestead. And one of the things we have to deal with is, yes, we can grow our own garlic. Yes, we can dehydrate it and grind it down into powder. But how much energy and effort does that take? And electricity.
And garlic is iffy at best. Like, your garlic may not grow.
So at this point, why supplies are still out there and easy to get, we buy heavily on that just because we don't want to make it. I mean, we can, but it's worth it for me for $1 not to have to.
Not to do it.
Yeah, especially when we're buying them at, you know, 5 pound bags. You're talking pennies is what we're using. So that's still a smart way. If you're listening, don't buy these little ones if you're going to start cooking a lot. And especially if you're trying to lose weight, guess what? You're cooking a lot.
You're cooking a lot, and flavor is your friend.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to get bored and you're going to go off track.
That is one thing, is we actually look forward to this food because it's so tasty that I don't feel like I'm sacrificing something. The only downside, the way we screw up is if we do not batch cook and prep. If there's nothing in the house, then we just get all antsy. So you've got to plan ahead and just cook it all at one time. Like, we were literally making a gigantic batch. So we always have the good sauce.
But this sauce will be around for a month. And this was enough for me to do beans. I'm going to try to do baked beans.
Yeah, that'll be good. I'm looking forward to that. How much you putting in here of this?
This is so 1.5 teaspoons. So where does that put us?
Multiply that by 4.
5.
So 6. 6.
Is it 6?
Yeah. 1.5 times 4 is
Yeah,
6.
But then how is... Oh.
Did I stump you on something?
No. I need to go back and add more.
Alright, so for you guys that were counting the scoops, and there's people yelling right now, "She didn't put enough in!"
I didn't. I missed 2 teaspoons each on the paprikas.
Alright, that's because we're distracting her talking to her. I don't usually hover over her while she's cooking.
Yeah, there's usually nobody in here.
So we split up the cooking chores in our house. Lorelei is just fantastic at baking and sauces. And I do the grunt, like, you know, making the everyday, the oat cakes and the potatoes and the, you know, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'll do the prep. Like, I'll help you peel the potatoes and I'll grind up the oat flour, no problem. Do
I'm
the
not really
dishes.
cooking fancy stuff, but it is labor intensive. And that seems to really work. Like, she really does. Your sauces are awesome. And there's a lot of secret to sauces. If you've never made it, it's really easy to screw up a sauce. And Lorelai's going to give you some tips here, because you think, oh, just turn it on, boil it, but no, there's more to it
you gotta. The barbecue sauce is labor intensive. Like, it takes this long to build it all, but again, this is a month.
Yeah.
And lots of ingredients, but still, if you're buying barbecue sauce,
Oh, I can't
it's
even imagine.
expensive, and it all has high fructose corn syrup. There's not a single one in there that doesn't, except for we found a couple.
Stubbs. I think, but it wasn't very good.
It's not good. It tastes vinegary, and I just don't like it.
So we
or
like-
spicy.
I should put that out there. We like, this is frankly the best sweet barbecue sauce I've ever had in my life. By far.
It's
and-
addictively good.
If you like a vinegary sauce, like a Carolina sauce or Louisiana sauce, you can add vinegar to this and bring it up.
There
But-
is, yeah. You can choose to use apple cider vinegar if you want.
Yeah, if you want to bring that up, but you could. Do they add that at the end if they want to make it vinegary? Or
Oh,
would
no.
they cook it in?
It has to be cooked in. You have to, and it cooks for twice as long. It takes forever to cook the vinegar out. I use pineapple juice instead of. That's why mine's so quick. It's like
so
30
good.
minutes to 60 minutes.
So if
depending
they
on the
actually use
sauce.
vinegar, that's why they cook it all day long kind of stuff?
Yeah, when I have a barbecue sauce made with vinegar that I do, and it is vinegar based, and it takes about 4 to 5 hours to cook it all off so that raw vinegar taste isn't in there.
Right. All right, next ingredient.
Black pepper. So it is 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper or white pepper, whatever you want to use. I just use a few grinds. I'm not.
So one teaspoon.
Pepper isn't something I really measure out too much. We don't use a lot of it. But the official measurement is 1/4.
There you go.
All right, and then we just mix. And I usually use a wire whisk, but I'm going to see if this works, and then I don't have to get it dirty.
That's awful quiet. We're not supposed to, by the way, when people watch videos, you're not supposed to have silence. It makes them uncomfortable.
You usually talk. I'm concentrating so I don't fling this all over the stove.
Again.
By the way, barbecue sauce makes a huge mess.
Oh yeah, and it burns. If y'all didn't know, sugar burns. Have you ever seen a sugar fire? It ain't pretty. There was one, I was living in Savannah when, oh God,
And it
was
stinks.
Domino's? I can't remember the sugar factory down there that blew up a few years ago.
I think it was Domino.
Oh my God, it was in the air and on fire, so people were breathing it in their lungs. They still, those poor people, man, got so burned. Sugar burns are no joke. So,
Oh, it's like napalm.
yeah, probably. Yeah, it sticks to you.
So yeah, it didn't work. I need the wire whisk.
So we had to make more dirty stuff.
Yep, it's okay.
Oh my God, this dog won't stop.
She
This
loves your
dog
attention.
just wants to go out so bad. But we walked her. I'm not falling for this because I just walked her. But she is trying. Do y'all have kids or dogs like this? Leave it in the comments. All right, so let's talk about how to cook sauce.
Okay, so now I turn it on. And I turn it on about 6. Because that's where our stove acts the best.
So
Any
medium.
higher than that, it just goes. Well, it's like medium high.
Okay.
Because this is a lot and it's going to take a lot to come up to heat.
Now, do you stir it the whole time it's coming up? Or do you let it come up and then start stirring?
So I check it every few minutes, just like probably about every 30 seconds to make sure it's not sticking on the bottom.
So
Because once it starts sticking, then it burns. How many times have you seen me have to transfer it out of this pan into the other one so that I can wash the black stuff off the bottom of the pan?
So good to know if you do get distracted and it burns.
Don't scrape it off the bottom. Leave the burn stuff on there. Scrape the sides off, like gently swipe it off and put it in a different pan and just start cooking again. And then you can just soak this right off in the sink.
Okay, so you guys hear that? Don't stir it if you know it's burned or you'll ruin the batch. Just pour off the good stuff, salvage what you can, and then start again. Repeat that. Let's say it a few times. So the thing is for people who've never made a sauce, this is probably the hardest part, right? It's just stirring and
It's just get
grinding.
your phone and watch YouTube,
So-
or play a game or something. Like,
How long do you think this will take?
This is going to take about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on how thick the sauce gets. It depends on the humidity. Like some days it's really humid here.
Yeah.
It's pretty dry here.
How much water?
Today? How much
Pineapple.
water? Like it's all.
Gotcha.
It's different every time.
Okay, so we will be back in 30, 45 minutes. And in a lot of carpal tunnel later, I'll have to adjust your wrist.
At least 30 minutes though to blend all the flavors together.
Yep. And this is the time too you want to tag team with your family because it is ridiculous to stand here and stir this for 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, so that's how I burnt it last time. Nobody was around when I was cooking it, and I ran in to go to the bathroom, and when I came back, it was.
Oh, so advice too, if you're gonna make sauce, plan your bladder.
Yeah.
There you go. Real advice about planning your bathroom ahead before you cook. And we were joking about it, but you're right.
It's actually really good advice. Like, if you don't have somebody there to take over and watch this, it'll burn.
Yeah.
So you either got to take it off the stove or that's it.
By the way, if you never see my channel, you'll never see Lorelei, you'll just see her hands. She's like like a magical, I don't know, person where all you see is hands. So she doesn't like being on film. So that is not on purpose. I'm not keeping you in the corner, taking all the glory. So that's it. But you will see our daughter Zoe running around and holding cats. We're about halfway in, and you can kind of see what the consistency looks like here. It's starting to definitely thicken up. And it's bubbling like lava.
Yep.
And it feels like lava if you
If it hits you, yeah.
So I kind of feel that making sauces are becoming a lost art. And what's your opinion on that? What do you feel?
So I like making sauces. It's chemistry. You know, like you put all these things together and it changes into something else. And if you don't get it quite right, you can, I don't know, you can just add and subtract. And it's kind of like baking. Once you get the basic plan down, you can experiment with it and trade out and see what else is going on. But I think it is. I think people just are a lot lazier now. They don't want to invest the time in a sauce, which I don't understand. This sauce will last us for a month.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, people will make bread all day long. Like, at the beginning of the lockdowns and stuff in 2020, everybody and their brother was making bread. There was a flour shortage, so many people were making bread. You'll put 6 hours into making a loaf of bread that's only going to last you a day. But nobody will make sauces.
I think they're intimidating and they burn easy. Like, you know, it's easy to ruin a sauce. I just don't think it's taught much anymore. Maybe in cooking schools and stuff, but I don't really see a lot of people making their own sauce. Now, for something like this, because like we said, we search for barbecue sauce, and it is really hard to find one that doesn't have a bunch of chemicals in it. And if you do find one, I usually don't like the taste.
That seed oils, chemicals, and high fructose corn syrup are like the 3 main ingredients in them now.
Yeah, for some reason, you'll have this like organic sauce, and the very last ingredient will be like sunflower oil, or you know, and believe it or not, just that little bit will trigger your brain to overeat. You have to get rid of all seed oils completely. Don't let them in any of your stuff.
And even regular oils, like I don't even really like coconut oil or avocado oil. For me, while we're losing weight, it's not worth it to me.
Oils are not your friend while you're losing weight.
Now, if you're eating it in the food, as a whole food, I have no problem with it.
Yeah, like, you know, we eat a lot of oats, and oats have fat.
Beans.
And beans have fat.
And I eat avocado.
They're all suspended in the fiber. But remember, pressed oil, 1, is super unnatural, and 2, it is the highest calorie food on the planet. You can't design a higher calorie food than oil.
We cut it out completely, and within 4 days, my energy level tripled.
It was amazing. You don't realize, because we were dabbling, and we knew this.
And I started sleeping,
too. We lost a bunch of weight together, cutting oil out, and then we got really busy with life, and it started sneaking back in, and it would come in maybe in a box of cereal, or it would come in, and eventually I started eating chips, and then, it would get into the fake cheeses, the vegan, I want a grilled cheese, and the best and worst thing that's happened in the last 10 years to vegans is that now the food's everywhere, and there's
easy access,
really good junk food,
and it's really good,
and it's not healthy. You will get
1990s vegan cheese was like a brownish block of nastiness, and it was not good. But now it's awesome.
We lost a bunch of weight 2 years ago, just eating. We just cut the oil out. Then we got busy and we started sneaking it in, and that binge went on for like 2 years. And now
about a year and a half, 18 months. Yeah, it was bad.
And we kept just kind of dialing back the oil, It didn't work. You have to cut it out completely to get rid of the cravings.
But yeah, 3 days in, I was sleeping.
Yeah, the inflammation went out of your body. Like, for you guys who don't know, I'm a chiropractor, and you can adjust her all day long, but
every day,
5 hours later, she's gonna be sore again. And the inflammation never comes out of the spine unless you either fast or you change your diet to get rid of the inflammation. And I'm telling you, even like the tiniest amount of seed oil will set it off. Avocado, olive, that stuff really usually won't set off inflammation unless you're eating it a lot. But if you're trying to lose weight, it still will hinder that, and it does give you some cravings. I mean, you'll eat more. You'll find like thinner vegans and some athletes, they will eat nuts and that stuff, and they can do that. And it's not necessarily unhealthy, but again, we're trying to lose weight, so we're both kind of addictive eaters, so it just triggers all that.
Mine's sugar. Yours is oil. I have less time being triggered by.
But this doesn't trigger you, and it has a ton of sugar. So, which is weird.
But it's the cane sugar.
Yeah. Mine is definitely oil.
But mine, I always want something sweet at night. Always.
And we've conquered that by switching over to smoothies, and we make oat cakes, and we allow ourselves like maple syrup, as long as it's good.
Yep.
It's not high fructose corn syrup.
No. Real maple syrup.
And we are losing weight on that. I feel like I need to make a video called Eat Pancakes, Lose Weight. Because we are losing a lot of weight.
And we have been eating them almost every day for 2 weeks and have lost weight.
Yeah, it's been great. We had cornbread pancakes the other day.
Oh
and
yeah,
our cat went crazy and tried to eat it all.
The Aldi's and the two dogs. Like we had, everybody sat in the kitchen and ate.
Yeah, it was a very interesting. I think we even have a picture of it somewhere where, like, Zoe's laying on the floor and she's got 3 animals hovering around her and they're all just eating corn pancakes with their hands like animals.
It was the Aldi's gluten-free, fat-free because I use applesauce instead of oils.
Yeah. So we don't bake much, but when we do, we take all the fat out of everything. And even our hummus is really low. Like, we make a hummus that barely has any tahini, and it's wonderful. It tastes awesome.
Yep. I put about 2 to 3 tablespoons in.
You know, and for a big batch, that's not a lot. And it's one of these things I'll have to say that I feel like I've tried to lose weight with all the plant-based diets out there. And over the years, some of them were really triggering for me and I actually put on weight. But some of them are just not satisfying. Like, I think the raw diet's probably the healthiest, the fruitarian.
But it's not satisfying.
But I don't like doing it. I'm not happy eating that way. And I think you have to compromise of the right diet for you is the one that you'll actually enjoy and comply with. And I always come back to starch solution and low fat, high carb stuff because I'm satisfied, I'm happy. The weight loss doesn't rocket off. You lose like, a pound or 2 a week.
But it stays off.
But it stays off. Yeah, I mean, it stayed off. It took us a long time to get fat again.
So it did, and I didn't even gain back all the weight.
No. So now we're cutting it, and it's already just a few weeks in, and we're already seeing huge improvements. Like, my belt's down probably 3 notches. Like, I don't weigh on the scale because it's too depressing. If you ever see me in real life, I have a lot of muscle. So even when I have like 6% body fat, I'm over 200 pounds. Like, I can have a 6-pack abs, and I'm like 225.
Yeah.
And so people don't like to get on a scale. For me is just awful because I'm going to weigh a lot even when I'm ripped, and so it's just not cool. I just stay off the scale.
Scales, I don't know. I haven't been on a scale in probably 10, 15 years.
These people probably are just either hypnotized watching the sauce thicken or like, holy crap, they haven't moved the camera in 8 minutes. I'm just watching this sauce, what do they say, watching a pot of tea boil.
Yeah.
But I think these are important things because if you're on your own weight loss journey, we've learned a lot going through this, and I'll keep sharing, but those were big triggers for us, and maybe they are for you too. Try it. You'll be surprised. And you have to be really clean about it. You can't be like, oh, well, I'm going to take this 1 granola bar because I ran out of room.
So my thing is pizza. Me, and I love my pizza, but...
we are deconstructing one, trying to make our own.
So I will be making my own cheese because I can do a Whole Foods cheese without any of the added oils.
Yeah, the problem is... Lorelei really likes pizza, and the diet cheese and stuff is just so high fat, and it has...
It's all oils.
Seed oils and junk. Even though it's delicious, it's still not good. So we're going to have to make our own from scratch that'll actually melt and sit on a pizza. And some of the recipes out there we've looked at look promising.
I have found 2 that look very promising.
Well, right now, I'm not even messing with nuts. I'm not messing with... like, we have bread over here that's a mix of oatmeal and almond flour, and I haven't touched it. That's Zoe eating that. Because just that little amount when you start will sometimes throw certain people off the rails. Like, I just can't play with nuts right now as much as I want to.
I made it before I realized the fat content in it.
No, but I'm saying the cheese you're making, it's probably cashew based, which will be delicious. But I have to get to a point where I've cleaned out my body enough that I can handle that without it sending me nutto.
Setting you off.
Yeah.
Well, and pizza's not a big deal for you.
No, I can skip it. I'd rather...
I'll make you tacos.
Oh, I love tacos. We have a taco recipe. It's probably not up yet because for you guys that don't know this, we had a cooking channel. We just kind of dumped a bunch of stuff on BitChute. But it's old and we've revised a lot of these recipes, so we're redoing everything.
I'm going to have to redo the taco.
And we'll show you how we do it and give you a good idea of different ways. But we've got a lot of good recipe hacks. And what you'll find out is over I would say over a month or two, you'll find 5 recipes that you really like and could eat every single day, and you just repeat those. Repeat. And you find 5 recipes that make you lose weight. And
air fried tater tots, tomato soup, and oat cakes are what we eat, and then with fruit smoothies and salads and stuff thrown in. That's all we've eaten for 2 weeks.
One of the things, in salads, and they're going to think we don't eat any vegetables.
Well, no, that's what I said, in salads.
Yeah, we have a cucumber every morning and a tomato, and we preload with soups, tomato soup and stuff. One of the things I really like, and I found this on Stacya's channel. If you guys don't know Getting Healthy with Stacia, it was really good. I think she calls them potato popcorn, and they are little potato nuggets that kind of look like popcorn when they come out. Well, I've been experimenting with cooking them and getting it right, because one of the things we really miss are tater tots. And
Love tater tots. They were my favorite.
You can't find them without just, they're all pre-cooked in grease.
Yep, they're all deep fried. You can't just
buy them. And so we've experimented, and I think I've got it down now, where I've had to cook them a bunch of different ways. And it is just potato. I'm not adding anything else. It's just a matter of how you prepare the potato, how big, what the time is, how you cook them, when you flip them, like all that sort of thing. And if you get it just right,
they taste exactly like deep fried tater tots.
Because it'll be gushy inside and crispy on the outside.
And it tricks your brain into thinking it's greasy, but it's not.
It is just a potato. And we eat the heck out of it. We'll have plates and plates of those and lose weight because we've probably had 300 calories, potatoes. There's nothing in them. And we'll use them to dip into the sauce. The sauce might be an extra 50 calories to 100 calories if we use a lot. And there's no fat in it. And again, I could pig out on these tater tots with this sauce, which people would look at it and be like, man, you guys are really overeating. But we only put away 300 calories, especially if we preload with a vegetable. So it's a great way to snack without guilt or problem. Like I feel luxurious eating junk.
Oh yeah, they're great.
It's like it's super healthy, but it tricks your brain to think it's junk food.
Oh look, we're a minute.
Oh look, we're almost there. Oh my gosh!
And it's the right thickness.
Is this the right? Are we there?
We're there.
So take a good look. If you have just been listening and put this on the side, take a look at the camera again. Go hey.
And you can see how far down it's come.
But you can see. Oh yeah,
it's reduced.
Yeah. That's reduced about an inch. So
probably about half an inch realistically, because it was right at the bottom of the line is about where it is. It's just the splash up.
Now, what are the instructions on cooling this when you take it off? And
I just slide it over to the side and let it cool for a while. Come back, I stir it periodically to keep, because the skin will...
Is it still a burn?
Yes. No, it won't burn on the bottom. The skin will form on the top. You want to keep mixing that in.
Got it. Okay, we'll be back.
All right, we are finished. So I will turn it off, slide it off the heat, and every 2 minutes or so we come back and stir it, because it will form a skin over the top and it'll look like pudding, if you've ever seen a skin on a pudding.
Barbecue pudding, delicious.
Yeah.
And then how long do you have to let it sit before you can actually use it? Like how much does it need to cool?
So this takes a couple hours to cool down because it's in such a big thing. I usually wait till it is cool enough for me to handle, and I pour it into jars and let it cool the rest of the way. The smaller section you have it in, the quicker it cools.
That makes sense.
If you wanted to eat some, you could put it in a little bowl and let it cool for probably about 15-20 minutes. And
it'll thicken up and... Got it. The sauce has been sitting probably for a good hour. It's still warm, but we're going to help cool it down by putting it in here. And now, with sauce like this, can you just close it when it's hot, or do you have to let it cool off?
I let it cool off because it steams and it condensates and gets a big puddle of water on top if you do.
Okay, so you
it's
think
not
it'll,
a big deal,
mold
but
or something if it was in there?
I don't know. We don't really have bacteria issues because we don't.
So we have an issue. Normally we put them in these, but these are all set aside for our next round of kombucha, so we are putting them in tiny jars here.
No, I always put it in small jars. The sauce I try to put in small jars because if you open up the big one over and over again, that's when you get bacteria in there and it'll grow mold on the top.
All right.
That's why I use smaller jars.
So this is recommended. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were just out of big jars.
No, for sauce I use That way we're not getting into the same one over and over again.
Yeah, I do feel like the more you open these things and expose it to air, the higher chance something's, because there's no preservatives in this.
Yeah, it's not canned or anything.
Oh wait, if you've never seen one of these lids, I can try to link it on Amazon.
It
You
is
can use our affiliate link.
a
but
lifesaver.
The metal ones are really nice.
Yep. And it always makes a mess.
All right. That's the AMSR walnut. The soft sound. Such a strange thing that ASMR became a thing. I don't understand it.
Oddly satisfying. Okay, so this one made a way bigger batch.
Yeah, we still got all this left.
Or we just didn't eat as much. One or the other.
There you go, last one. And we'll scrape it out for every drop.
Yep.
All of it. We have a no grain left behind policy and no sauce left behind.
Yeah, you should see us with rice.
It's ridiculous. It's so hoarder mentality or something.
I
find every grain I drop and
just hate food
cook it
waste.
and clean it. Yeah, it's fine if I don't even care about giving it to the dog, if it hits the floor or something, but just throwing it out drives me crazy. Especially with hard times coming. I think it's actually
Probably a good policy to have
good
in place.
policy. Yeah, no grain left behind. So wow, we got a whole third out of this thing.
That
So 3.
That was 2 quarts and a pint and a half. So we're
So you're
short.
right.
We're almost 3 quarts.
So we almost had an entire gallon of this. If we could have done one more of these, would be a gallon. Oh no, this is actually. Is this a?
This is a pint and a half. So
Yeah.
one more pint and it would have been one of these.
I gotcha. I'm
So-
sorry. I forgot we were using different shape. By the way, these pint and a half jars are really hard to get, but they are awesome. We use them for cups.
I'm gonna say they're my drinking glasses, and I love them.
Yeah, but I wish they weren't so difficult to get now. They were when let's just say the last 2 years have been difficult to get these. Everything in the stores was sold out.
Yeah, I haven't found them in the stores. We finally found them on Amazon
Yeah, and of
for
course
a hot minute.
You pay up the nose usually, like buying glassware on Amazon. But I think you got a pretty good deal.
So that is the amount of barbecue sauce we got out of that batch.
That's right. Soak it in. If you guys, I'm telling you, if you like sweet barbecue sauce, this is the best sauce. You can't go back. You won't go back. Oh, you won't even know the meaning of going
And
back.
you can spice it up. You can put chili powder in there. My original did have chili powder, but we just didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't really. Oh, by the way, our profiles, we really don't eat hot food. When I mean hot, I mean spicy hot. So most of our stuff is sweet. If you like spicy food, check out Stacia's channel. She throws hot sauce on everything. She does. It's a Canadian hot sauce. So speaking of channels, we have a Telegram group we just started, and it is for this channel. You can come in there, discuss recipes, and come and hang out and chat with us, and we post our long content and our short content there.
And any questions you have, I'll answer.
Yeah, if you're like, hey, I want to substitute, Lorelai's a wealth of experience and we're starting to get pretty good at this oil-free cooking. Been doing it a few years now, so we can help you if you're transitioning. Go on in there. I'm linking this right here in the video. And since it's a new channel, YouTube might not let me put a link in. If that's the case, go into Telegram and search Lupo's Kitchen, and you'll find us. Thank you so much for hanging out. And we actually really like not being so constrained to the fast format. Just being able to talk and hang out. It's really lovely.
Yeah, the shorts are quick.
Oh, I'm running out of battery. Love you guys. See you in the next recipe.